Thanks, Dom. I learned some great strategies from you over the years collaborating. And one of the things that I love working with you is about the idea to really pay attention and have a lot of emotional intelligence and awareness of the mental software that you're running, particularly during times of stress. So by being able to ask ourselves and pause during times of crisis or significant change or things aren't working the way that you want, your ability to put the pause button on and make a choice of what does it mean, what am I going to do, and then how am I going to act. Three main questions or quality questions that really help us to have better strategies. Truth be told, having done what I've done for 14 years, it doesn't mean I'm perfect. So I've learned plenty of things of what not to do and what to avoid. And, you know, I'm human just like the rest of us. Sometimes I get off track, but it's the ability to get back on track quicker. And when I do get off track, I find it's revisiting what my goals are, what my values are, and then what are the next steps. It's great to have a goal and values that are in alignment, but breaking it down into something that's achievable. So I believe in smart goal setting, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and you've got to have a time frame on it as well. So that's something that I use myself and I use my clients, be it in coaching or workshops. And you know, it works, right? Clarity's power. If you've got the clarity, you can do something about it. If you're not aware of it, you can't change anything. And life will either change things for you unless you're actively changing them yourself. So I reckon it's better to be on the front foot and drive that rather than be at the mercy of whatever happens in the world, because a lot of stuff happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My dear friend, it's one of my favorite quotes is from Jim Rohn. He says, it's not the blowing of the wind, it's the setting of the sail that determines where you end up. And absolutely resonates with me. You know, the winds of change are blowing on us each and every day, but having that goal, regardless of where it is, that's the start of setting the sail, pointing it to a direction of your choosing. You and I can't choose very often the situations that we're in, but certainly we can choose the responses. And thank you so much for sharing that and reminding us of that philosophy. Tell me, what is one thing that you feel that we should not do in times of change because it creates undue stress?
Don't freak out and run for the hills. That's number one. If you run away, you lose the opportunity to learn. Don't get me wrong, if a grizzly bear is chasing you or a tiger or something like that, run like crazy. But most things in life will pass. And it's not always comfortable. It doesn't mean it's always easy to navigate or to deal with those changes. But one of the things I would say is don't overreact too quickly, and it's sometimes hard. Again, that mental software piece of, well, is it going to impact my life significantly 5 or 10 years from now? Sometimes. What other choices do I have? What other resources do I have? Who can I reach out to now, which might be able to give me a little bit of clarity or a bit of guidance or help me to make a better decision? Failing all that, we live in an amazing time where Google has a lot of the answers or links to incredible resources that are out there. So go and watch a video, go and speak to a coach, read a book, do something different rather than the old strategies that meant that you'd fall from the uncertainty rather than rise with it. Easier said than done, but the strategies and the solutions are certainly out there. If you're hungry enough to push forward and you care about growing, there's plenty of resources out there. You've just got to look for them.